Today we're going to be breaking down everything for CS2 investing on what's next, starting off with the Budapest Major. Now the Budapest Major brought in a lot of brand new items. Obviously we've got the stickers, we've got these sticker capsules, and we've got some other items. Now first up, we've got our stickers and our sticker capsules right now, but we're not making any investment. That's because our 75% off sale is going to be coming after the Major is finished. It's not something that Valve has really reduced in the past. It's always been a 75% off sale, and I expect it to stay the same way, so I would not be investing into any stickers or any sticker capsules just yet. Then we've got our souvenir packages. Once the games officially get underway, you're going to be able to redeem your tokens for a souvenir package, especially if you have not redeemed your pass just yet. You've only got a couple days to do your pick'ems if you want to do those as well, so very important to get those done. In combination to all of those things, we've also got a Champions capsule, which is once again returning for the Budapest Major here, so if you want to go ahead and wait until that comes out to unbox it, you definitely can. Overall, investing into Budapest right now doesn't make a ton of sense because things are only going to be getting more informational and more profitable as time goes on when it comes to the price you're going to be paying. You can invest in a 75% off sale, or you can invest now. There's no point in investing now because it's 4 times the price. Skinland is today's sponsor, and they're also sponsoring you with a free $10 on your first trade using code MasterShiny. And the best part is you're going to be able to cash that out instantly with their brand new system. They've teamed up with Team Vitality to be the best in the game, offering you the lowest prices when you're coming to buy and the highest prices when you're using their instant cash out feature. They've got tons of different payout options when you're looking to sell, and their marketplace is filled with all of the best skins for all of the best prices. It's where I go to do all of my skins related items, and you should too because they've got the best rates out there right now. Now talking about our high tier items, it's actually been a pretty drastic change inside the market. Now if we want to look at our covert items, they're down maybe 5-10% over the past week or so. This is not anything too crazy as obviously they shot up so much in value, but another area that's also lost around 10% depending on the item is going to be your high tier knife market. If you want to look at something like the Butterfly Fade, it peaked around 2 weeks ago and it is now on the way back down. It's lost maybe 20% depending on when you're grabbing your points, which is rather significant, and it's not just this alone. A lot of these knives are still going down in price. This is honestly what we expected to see inside of this area. We knew that this was something that was going to recover quickly, but we didn't know if that was really going to sustain those price levels or if it was going to lose it back again. This is because those trade ups were still profitable to do, and even though the coverts shot up so much in value, most of them still had not reached their equilibrium just yet, and that's why we're seeing the knife prices go down a little bit more. It's not something that's going to stay forever, but a lot of them have lost a lot of this value, and it's not going to be easy to just instantly make it back. I think a lot of these prices are probably going to be sticking around like this, even maybe going down a little bit more. Really depends on how the market dilemma is playing out. Now talking about our armory right now, I think this is a perfect testament to what we're seeing overall inside of the game. If you want to look at it, our sport and field is highest at 126%. The M4A1S Solitude is removed, but it's not even profitable if it was still able to be gotten in the armory. The majority of these items are sitting close to 100% ROI, with some of them obviously being outliers in the Sugarface 2 and the Dr. Boom at its super low level. And I think this is a really good estimate of what we talk about when we're saying that the trust has been lost in Valve. People don't want to make strong investments into the armory right now because they don't know what's to come, and that's exactly what Valve has lost with the investor confidence inside this area. We don't know if the armory is going to be a great investment or if it's going to be a bad investment for these specific items right here because we don't know how long they're going to be in the armory, but the truth is right now no one wants to take that risk because there's better opportunities out there, and even though some of these I am very bullish on, right now I don't know if it would be the best chance to pick some of these up because I really don't know what the future of the armory looks like, and that's a little scary. Now talking about our case market, things are definitely very split once again. If we want to talk about our older, a little bit more developed cases, you got our gammas, our chromas, our spectrums. A lot of these cases, they are still in a very prime position. That's because these things are extremely expensive and they've made a full recovery. In fact, most of them are still up around 10, maybe 12% from that overall period we were seeing a month ago, which is really good, and that really comes down to the fact that obviously they've got the really desirable golds inside of them. However, then we've got the other hand, and the other hand is not too amazing for most people. That's your fractures, our snake bites, all of our cheaper rare cases, even our gallery case I would throw in here. These cases have definitely struggled a fair bit, and that's just because of the overall supply of these. Obviously, so many people have these cases, so many people list these cases, and at the end of the day, right now, they're not the most in demand. They've got decent reds, they've got decent golds, but nothing that anyone is really going out of their way for. Most of these are sporting some of the lowest prices when it comes to the reds, relatively speaking, and therefore we're left in the situation where some of them are down still 15-20% from that price we were seeing around a month ago. I wouldn't say this is particularly worrisome, but it's not exactly what we want to see, and at the end of the day, I don't think that long term this is going to have the most major impact, but it's definitely something that in the short term here, we're seeing these prices drop down a fair bit, and honestly, I think it's a good buying opportunity if you're trying to get into some of these cases at a relatively cheap price point, but that's my personal opinion. However, we're talking about the next, and inside of this video, the next case is going to have some major implications for the overall market. That's because the last case we got was actually actually the Seal Genesis terminal, and therefore we're left in a situation where if we see another terminal, it's going to have some major market implications, and if we see another active duty case come in, it's also going to have some pretty interesting implications as well. Now, talking about our current active duty cases, the prices have not been too impressive. Obviously, the Seal Genesis terminal is extremely cheap because you have to buy the skins, but talking about the 4 actual cases, the prices have been slipping a fair amount. We've got our kilowatt and our recoil dropping down into that 40-50 cent price range, which is really low compared to what we were seeing a little bit ago, but not overall for the active duty case market too surprising. I will say definitely these cases are going to be definitely looking at the armory as well. If we see a new case come in there, this is something that these prices are probably going to drop a little bit lower because we know that none of them are going to be kicked out next. Now, talking about our market hype right now, I feel like it's definitely more towards the sentiment of stickers and capsules, and this is not necessarily a bad thing. It's been this way for the past couple of months, but I'm really excited once it shifts back around to the case market once again. I think this is honestly one of the most solid areas, and right now, obviously, the momentum and the hype is all around the knife trade-ups, and it's going to be that way for a little bit, but I think people are once again going to circle back around to these cases, and I think we're going to be in a very strong position there. That's my personal opinion, and that's what I'm looking for next. Now, talking about what's next for the filler skin area. Now, if you don't remember, filler skins were pretty much destroyed inside of the latest update where you were able to trade up the knives. They changed the whole trade-up formula. I got a full video on it here I highly suggest you check out, but because of that, the filler skin market was completely demolished because filler skins were no longer the case, and looking at it now, there's not really an amicable or really area that can really substitute in as filler skins. It seems like it's going to be very trade-up dependent now, and it's going to be a lot more complicated, but there's no filler skins overall, which is interesting, albeit a lost profit opportunity, unfortunately. Now, another new development that just came out is there's a brand new site breaking into the scene, buying up a ton of market share, and it's going to be skins.com. They're, quote, the freshest marketplace on the scene, but they've got a really big caveat. Now, they come with a 0% fee, which seems really good, except you gotta figure out how are they making money? They gotta be making money somewhere, and that's because they're actually a marketplace front for a gambling site. The way they're doing it is they're sending your skins off to gamba sites where they're going ahead and exchanging them there, so it's really just a front to try and get innocent people involved in this so they can help dilute the potential bans for their actual bot accounts. And another important thing to keep your eyes on right now is going to be the applications for whatever area you're trying to invest into. Now, we got some armory applications here, so we've got the elemental craft, some of my favorites when it comes to investing, the ones that I'm really watching, and you can see which ones are really in demand and which ones are definitely not. Then we've also got the 2025 community sticker. These are also in the armory right now, and it's a really good area to see which ones are in demand and which ones are not. Now, obviously, this is very new, so they're not going to be getting removed anytime soon. Now, getting back to the question of originally, what is next for CS2 investing? Honestly, I see a very profitable future, but it's definitely not going to come easy after Valve's trust has really destroyed a lot of investor confidence inside of this area. I think the market's going to have a next couple solid months, but it's definitely not going to be easy, and it's definitely not going to be instant. That's all I got. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day.